First and foremost, I want to thank God. Without him, none of this is possible. None of it. But, thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank the players. I want to thank all the players. I know them all personally, and it means a lot to me. I got to thank our sponsors, Thornton's. I'm not going to remember everybody. Ryan and his wife Carol, thank you. Fluid Air Company, thank you. English Appraisal Services, Anheuser-Busch, Maker's Mark, California Pizza Kitchen, 106.9 and ESPN 680. Big round of applause for all of our sponsors. Thank you also to all of the volunteers. When I got here this morning, none of this was here. There were planes in here, and I thought, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Volunteers worked very hard. And also want to thank Lady Fingers for delicious food. And Village Anchor for the delicious appetizer. I have to thank the people from Springhurst. They've really done a lot of work. David English and Chris Mather. They've done more than anybody will ever know, but me, for this event. I have my like 1% that I'm doing. They did 99% of the work. I'm doing my 1%, and I'm cashing it in right now. Thank you guys very, very, very much. I also want to thank my family who've been supportive through all of this, and it's been a long journey. Thank my two beautiful daughters you saw in the video there. They obviously aren't here. There's alcohol, so not going to happen. And then I want to thank my wife. Thank you, sweetheart. You know, they say behind every great man's a great woman. Well, in my case, behind every great man is an even better woman. Thank you. And thank you for acknowledging the fact that I'm great. All right? Thank you. My cousin Amy put this together. Thank you, Amy. I just love that video. It tells a lot of my story, doesn't tell the whole story. I just want to tell you a little bit about my experience, my story. Back in 2008, I got obviously diagnosed with brain cancer. I was, we were just stunned. I went to bed one night, gave my wife, my daughters a kiss, and I woke up in the hospital. I woke up on a stretcher. The first thing I remember saying is, "What's going on?" And my wife said, "Are you going to remember this time?" And that's when I knew my life had changed forever. I met a lot of people along this journey. The leader of my cancer team was a man by the name of Dr. LaRocca. He told me early on that, because we were crushed. I mean, we were just absolutely crushed. And he said, don't give up hope. He said, they are making breakthroughs, especially in brain cancer. They're doubling their knowledge every year through cancer research. Doubling their knowledge every year. He said, so actually, if you're going to get it, now's the time to get it. Because you are on the forefront of the research. I believed him. I didn't know that wasn't gullible. That was actually going to happen. Fast forward 3 years later, they leave the tumor in, the type of tumor that I had. They just leave it there. And to walk around knowing you have cancer in your body, I mean, it's hard. People ask you all the time, well, you obviously had it removed, right? No, I have to leave it in. And they just give you this look like, what, I have to leave it in. That's what they do right now. And, you have three options. You're going to cut it out, you're going to poison it with chemotherapy, or you're going to burn it with radiation. And unfortunately, the brain doesn't respond real well to radiation, so that's a weapon they save till the very end. And the end's not good. Chemotherapy was a very popular treatment at the time, and but we waited and we prayed, And then one day I came home, I'll never forget, I could read my own MRI, because I mean, you saw the picture. It's very clear. There it is. It lights up like a Christmas tree. And you can, it comes with this software, you can measure it yourself. So every time I measured it, it was fine. Same size, hadn't grown. Then I remember, I'll never forget the day I came home, and my wife never looked over my shoulder until that day, for some reason. And she looked, and it was different. And that thing they say, we'll wait until it changes. Well, today was until. It was that day. And once again, we were crushed. I talked to my family doctor, Robin Neustadt. She said, you know, there's this surgery that they do, and it's a brain mapping surgery. I'd like you to talk to a surgeon. So I talked to a surgeon about this brain mapping surgery, and it sounded interesting. It sounded promising. But everything I read on the internet, you're going to live 5 years. You're going to live maybe 5 to 10 years. Well, when I went back to the leader of my team, Dr. LaRocca, he said, well, if you're going to go talk to somebody about this surgery, you need to go see Mitch Berger. He's the man. He's the guy. He pioneered this surgery. And I said, where is he? He said, San Francisco. I said, all right, we're going to go. So we flew out to San Francisco, and this man's resume, you go on his website, and it just keeps scrolling. Pages after pages of research paper after research paper. And it was 2011, November 2011, almost exactly 2 years ago. And we sat in front of him in his office. Big man, played football for Harvard, had a chance to play for the New York Giants. I mean, this is an amazing human being. And he said, well, I've done 20 years worth of research on your tumor. And if we get it before you're 40 years old, which I was, if we get it before it's over 4 centimeters, which it was, and before it gets above a grade 2, which at the time it sort of was, because it was changing. I've got people still alive, 20 years. And I was shocked. I said, we've not heard anything like that. He says, well, you've been on the internet, haven't you? I said, well, of course. He goes, don't read the internet. It's full of angry people. Angry people who've lost loved ones, and they want to vent, and they're going to vent on the internet. He says, people that are alive don't write on the internet. They live their lives. And that just blew me away. And we said, all right, when can we be back? And he said, February. So February 22nd, 2012, yes, that's not very long ago, I had brain mapping surgery. It's an awake surgery. I'm actually awake during the surgery while they're on my brain. It affects my speech, this area of my brain. And he pretty much said, you're probably going to have a speech deficit. There's almost 100% chance of that. I was fine with that. I wanted to live longer. I wanted to see my girls grow up, see them graduate from high school. So I said, fine, whatever. And so we had the surgery. We had a speech therapist set up, a physical therapist set up for when we came back, because we were certain that that was going to be an issue. 6-hour surgery. I was awake for a lot of it. I didn't have a clock, so I don't know how long, but it was trust me, it was a long time. They showed me pictures, and they said, tell me what that is. And if they were putting current on my brain, I couldn't tell them what it was. I could see the picture, I recognized the picture, but I couldn't verbalize it. If they were touching tumor, I could tell them exactly what it was. It was a paper clip. It's a cat. They cut the tumor away. And they did that very carefully for a very, very long time. He says he got 99.9% of it. I was sitting up, and my parents, my wife, my sister, they can tell you, I sat up and was talking like this. They looked at me like I was just, I can't believe that you're here talking like this. It's a miracle. I mean, it's a miracle. There's no other way to put it, and I know who's responsible for that. I had 6 rounds of chemo after that. They wanted to make sure they got it all. And there's a drug that's amazing. It's called Temodar. Again, cancer research that was developed back in the 70s. It just amazes me what cancer research has done for me. And I said it there. I don't even remember saying it, but cancer research saved my life. And I've clean bill of health right now. I still have regular MRIs. I've had over 20 MRIs in my life, and I'll have them for the rest of my life. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm very, very, very thankful for cancer research. We've all lost someone or known someone who's had cancer, lost someone. David English's father-in-law just died of colon cancer this spring. When I was in high school, I lost my grandfather in middle school, my aunt in high school. I mean, it touches so many lives. It touches so many lives. On your table, there is an envelope that looks like this. Here's what I want you to do. You didn't have to pay for valet parking tonight. You didn't have to buy a tuxedo or rent a tuxedo or buy a new dress. We wanted to save your money. We wanted you to have fun. Has everybody had fun tonight? I want you to take out some cash. All right, the cash you save. I don't want to spend money on things that are irrelevant. What's relevant is cancer research. We want to raise money for cancer research. We want to put money in envelopes tonight. Okay? We want to bid a lot of money on teams. Those prizes are amazing. And find someone in a green shirt, hand them. I need somebody in a green shirt. There we go. There we go. Jared, my buddy. It's my cousin Jared. Everybody give him a round of applause. There we go. Thank you, Jared. Find someone in a green shirt. Give them an envelope, please. We want 100% participation. I don't care if it's $5. I really don't. It counts. We've covered our expenses, so you can be assured that every dollar you give will go directly to cancer research through the V Foundation. I'm gonna introduce a man who actually inspired me. Jim Valvano, many of you should know his name. He is the founder of the V Foundation. That's what the V stands for. Years ago, I think it was 1993, he gave one of the most memorable speeches that's not political related, one of the most memorable speeches I've ever heard in my life. I remember I was sitting on my couch in college watching the ESPY Awards, because I'm a sports freak. I love every sport on the planet. And he stumbled up on stage. Dick Vitale helped him walk up on stage. And he gave a speech that put me to tears. I mean, I was bawling. And I'm not one of those guys that, ever cries, ever, right? And it was just amazing. And I remember thinking at the time, I told Bob this, and Bob Valvano will be up here to speak in a minute, his brother. I told him at the time, I said, it blew me away. And I had just recently lost my aunt a couple of years before that, and it meant so much to me. And what it's about is they wanted to get money directly to projects, research projects, to surgeons, to oncologists, to fight cancer. And it's my personal belief that the cure for cancer will come from something like the V Foundation that's putting money towards cancer research. Cancer research is where the cure will come from. So I thank you, everybody, for coming. Every single one of you. I thank everyone that's helping, all the players. And I'm going to introduce the video now, the V Foundation. Thank you.